bursted out into tears, and I was crying profusely. And one of my coworkers came in the bathroom, and she just saw the state and condition that I was in. And from there, my mom got on the phone, and I reached out to her, and I told her, I gotta come home, that this is what's going on, I gotta come home. So she told me to pack my things and come back to Philadelphia that night. So she spoke to my manager, I left work, and I went back to Philadelphia that night. And from there, I got a chance to kind of clear my mind. I know earlier you were talking about when you go through traumatic experiences, how you kind of need that breather, that break. And that's what I needed mentally. And I decided, I said, look, this is what I'm going to do. Now that I have a fresh start, I believe God had given me a fresh start. I said, my focus is only going to be on acting. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to sacrifice working and slaving myself out to pay bills. I'm going to trust God, and I'm going to do what I know that I was born to do. And from there, within a week, I started getting calls to come out to do background work in New York. On NBC Smash and Revolution I've done for ABC, and just other television daytime shows that I've done, and no, they weren't principal roles, but I was still getting paid, and I was still in the midst, and God was still giving me that chance and saying, okay, you are on the right path. This is what I do want you to do. So I've been acting, and I still am. And going through my journey in acting, I have stumbled across so many other actors who are coming to set depressed, who are coming to set not happy. That same unfulfillment that I had leading up to my suicide attempt, I was seeing while these people were doing what they say that they love. So it got me to wondering, and I said, well, God, like, what is going on? How can I be a light to them, or how can I encourage them? It's in me to be an encouraging person. I love to encourage people just naturally. So I came up with the idea of Artists Anonymous. Well, he inspired me with that idea. And Artists Anonymous is basically a group of diverse artists who share resources with each other, who inspire each other, and who promote each other. It's kind of like a moral support group for artists who are feeling stuck on their journey, or who are struggling with something outside of their artistry that's affecting their craft.
So when did you come up with Artists Anonymous? When was it within your whole process?
Oh, wow. I would say it was probably maybe in the 7th month, because March, April, May, June, July, August, September, 6th month. I built the group in September. So it was in the 6th month of my journey that I launched Artists Anonymous.
So that's about the time that we met.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we met on, it was the end of August. It was Shalina Diva's book. Was it her book release or book signing?
Oh, it was her book signing. Oh, yeah, you saw me perform at the book signing. I totally forgot about that.
Y'all, she could act. But she was out of there. I didn't get a chance to speak to her that day. And then somehow we got connected. Oh, you know what? I was looking at our messages on Facebook, and I think you friended me.
Okay.
Because I spoke about something. I gave some type of testimony or story about myself on the show. On the, not the show, but the prayer call. And the prayer call, it consists of prayer. It consists of the I am factor, where you speak into your life about who you are. And then there's a story. But somewhere within all of that,
you had the longest list for I factors. I am factors.
I'm going places, all right? I'm going places. Oprah, hey. But, yeah. And so you friended me, and I always friend back people. When I accept, I say, I ask, how can I be a blessing? And then
yes, I remember now. Yes.
You told me how I inspired you with me purging my story. I was just purging, you know, and that's the awesomeness. And I say that God is the ultimate multitasker. Because while I'm purging, I'm just getting this stuff out of me. She's being blessed.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was really cool how we connected.
Yeah.
I remember being on the conference prayer line, and it's a 5 a.m. line that us ladies get on, and
you come early in the morning.
no, that's so true, and it's good to do. But we all get on this line, and they share their stories, and I remember hearing CarlaStarla's story in particular, and I think that it moved me because you were so transparent and unapologetic about your personal experience. And when you shared your story, you weren't worrying about, how it would come off or if you were being judged. You were just stating, this is where I was and this is where I'm at. And
let me share, because it just came, because I can't remember what I spoke about. I just started dating this guy. Now, mind you, I've been on the prayer call from February, and I told y'all on the last show all my business, so y'all know that I struggle with things. And so when I was talking about sexual sin, that I saw myself going into sexual sin. I started dating this guy. I'm really feeling him. That's my boo. But I feel myself getting ready to fall. And so that summer 2012, that it was a real struggle. When you're attracted to marriage, I just had to confess and ask. I think I asked for prayer or something. I just needed to not keep that to myself.
Mm-hmm. You were talking about you were going through your breakthrough too. Yeah. I think that was one of your IM factors at the time. Mm-hmm. Was that I think you noticed that you were like pushing through it spiritually because you were confessing, I am having my breakthrough. I am experiencing my breakthrough. And for me to like just hear that, first of all, it was something that I definitely could relate. But more importantly, I admired your transparency. Yeah. And it made me want to connect with you because it felt like, wait, if this woman can be so transparent on this line, then I know I can keep it real with her and she can keep it real with me in turn, Yes. So that's how we got connected originally.
Absolutely. It's an awesome thing. Mm-hmm. It's so empowering because it's disempowering when we try to keep things to ourselves. Yeah. I'm going to handle this by myself. Don't want anybody to know about it. The shame of it. And everybody goes through it. And so I think it was like 2 days later, I was like in the city, and you called me up. Come on over to the Marriott. I'm over here chilling. And she came over, and I was with some other people, and I was like, oh yeah, this is my friend. We just met. When did we meet? A couple of weeks ago. It wasn't even a week yet.
Because just that previous week, you had just saw me perform in Shalina's book
we
signing.
Just met a few days ago. And we're lollygagging and everything, like we've been friends for years. The guys that was around us, they were like, y'all didn't just meet. Yeah, we did. And that's the awesomeness. Yeah. When God brings people together, don't be afraid to open up. You have a blessing for them, and they probably have a blessing. And most likely, it's reciprocal. The blessing is reciprocal. So, open up.
Yes.
So, tell them about your boldness asking me for you to come bring a segment to my show.
Oh, wow. Well, I did see that you were doing the Life After Whatever television show, which was amazing. And I do remember you sending me a Facebook message after I friended you, and you said, how can you be a blessing to me? And I was like scratching my head like, I don't know, like, where is this question coming? I never experience somebody being so open and so willing as soon as they meet somebody with, just to be willing to help them. So I did have to pray on it. I was just like, I don't know how CarlaStarla can help me, God, but you let me know. And in due time, God inspired me with this idea, collaboration for you and I to work with each other. And it dealt with Artists Anonymous. I just finished up a social media campaign for Artists Anonymous, and the objective of the media campaign was to shed light on artists who are doing something either positive in their community or making a conscious effort to be positive on their journey.
Yes.
And I wanted to kind of, I don't know, I guess reward or give these artists some platform of promotion. And that is when your television show came to my mind.
Yeah.
I said, well, wow, if I host a contest and the reward be that these artists can perform and sit down and give an interview live or for television, then that would be the exposure and the platform that they need, and I could work with CarlaStarla. So it was like kind of a two-in-one thing. You were a resource that I used, that I know that I was like, hey, this can work. This is what I have going on. Can I bring this segment to your show? And you were more than willing. You were like, let's go with it, and I appreciate that.
Because at that time, I was like, I want an hour show, but I don't even know how I'm going to fill it. Okay? And she came.
God just works perfectly like that. And
dropped it in my lap.
Here it is. I mean, we got a chance to work hand in hand with each other, and both of our needs have been met in this process. So thank you for having me on the show. I'm excited to be here.
God, hello.
Yes.
I love it, and I look forward to working so much more with you.
Absolutely.
So, give us an introduction of the two artists that you have.
Sulimon Wiggins is a songwriter, and he is a singer. His artist name is Cinncere, and the reason why I chose Cinncere to perform for this show is because he did something very phenomenal. Recently, Hurricane Sandy hit New York, as you all know. Yeah. And about 2 days later, after the tragedy hit, I saw on Facebook, he's a member of Artists Anonymous, but I saw on Facebook that he had composed this song specifically for those who had experienced tragedy. And it was an encouraging song, basically inspiring people to look to God and to be positive in the midst of their storm. So I thought that was something that was relevant. It was something that we all need to hear, regardless of whether it was about Hurricane Sandy or not. We all go through our storms. So it was definitely a message that needed to get out. So he performed that song.
This song is dedicated to everyone out there. You may have lost your way. Things in life ain't working for you. And at times it seems though you try your best, you keep falling to pieces. So I want you to know that God is for you. He's interested in your success, not your failure. He's fully invested in you.
God was always trying to help.
I found the way. Into the promise. And I just can't keep it all to myself.
Oh no.
So when we all get there, it's gonna be,
it will be
crystal clear.
So clear.
So very clear that God was always
trying.
He was always
To help.
God was always. He was always trying to help. Oh, come on, God was always trying to help. He saw the lonely night that you cried. And he made a promise that he would,
Because he
would always be right there,
was there
right by your
by
side.
your side.
So he's gonna wipe all your tears and restore
every
last one.
the years.
God was
always trying to help. God was always
trying
to help. help. He's the way into the promise, and I just can't keep it to myself. No, no, oh Lord. So when we all get there, it's gonna be so very clear. God was always trying. Listen, to help. God was always trying to help.